This video is sponsored by KentFaith, first choice for photo and video products. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of the Midweek Madness Photography Podcast. And saying that name out loud makes me think I might have to shorten it just a little bit. It's a bit of a mouthful. Now, a couple of weeks ago, KentFaith reached out to me asking if I wanted to test their magnetic filter kit. Now, if you don't know who KentFaith are, they're a company that provide camera accessories at a nice, reasonable price, and they specialise in lens filters. And that is the subject of today's video, this Thursday's video. So let's get started, shall we? Now, before I get into reviewing the filters that KentFaith have kindly sent to me, I thought I'd discuss filters as a whole. You see, there's three types of filter systems. The first of which is a screw-on filter, which just screws on to the front of the lens. Now, they're great when you're starting out with lens filters. They're nice and cheap, not too cost effective. The second is a square filter system, and again it attaches to the front of the lens, and the filter itself is a square piece of glass that just slots into the holder on that square filter system. Now, I can't talk too much about those, can't say if they're overly useful or not because I've never used them. Maybe it will be something I can try and review in a future video like this one. And then of course you come to the third system, which is the one that I can't hesitate to recommend the most, and it is this magnetic filter system, because it's just so straightforward. Once you've got everything set up on the lens, it's just a case of attaching the magnetic lens and taking it off as and when you need it. Now, I can recommend magnetic filters already, because for the last year I've already been using the KentFaith magnetic 8-stop ND filter, which I paid for with my own money. So let's get this box opened and have a look and see what's inside. And already I am loving this case that we get. You see, again, I'm just going to revert back. I'm just going to go back and get the 8-stop ND filter. I'll put this case down for a second. And as you can see, this comes in a nice plastic case. And if we open up the case and take out the lens filter, you'll see it comes in a very nice foam insert. Now, other brands, they do come with a nice little fabric case like this one. So when I pulled this out of the box, I was really, really delighted to see it there. And just having a quick glance, and already it's got this nice little magnetic cover over the zip. Always do love that little tactile click. And then, this is brilliant. We've got a little Velcro attachment here, which hopefully that wasn't too loud. I can unclaps that, attach it to my belt, so when I'm out on location, especially when I'm going to the coast and I want to get an ND filter out, or I want to get a UV filter or whatever out of the bag, I don't have to put the camera bag down on wet sand. I can just have this attached to my belt and just pull out the lenses as and when I need them to. So this is a great little addition. But let's open it up and see what we've got inside. Oh, not too bad. So it looks like each of the filters come in this little bit of packaging. Now, the one thing that I'm noting here is it's almost like a little bit of a frosted piece of packaging, and it's a bit difficult to see. Let's pick another one. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to see what the actual lens filter is. So I think if you're to keep the packaging, you might want to get rid of it for ease for getting the lens filters in and out. But even when you first receive these, it might be good, KentFaith, if you're watching, just to have a little bit of a note somewhere on this packaging, just saying what the lens filter is. But let's open each up and just see what we've got. And this one in particular looks to be, yeah, that is the magnetic adapter. We'll come back to that in a little while. This one I can already tell, this one's really easy to recognise. It's be honest. This is the ND1000 filter. It's a 10-stop ND filter. These are perfect for long exposures, especially when you want that nice, milky, smooth water. Next up, let's see what this one is. Again, just get it opened up. So the packaging on the floor, out of the way. And this one is the CPL, the polarizing filter. Now these are perfect for getting rid of reflections, whether it be in the water or if you're shooting and you're outside and you see, and you've got like a model on the other side of a window and there's all this glare. It's great for putting these on the front of your lens, and it can get rid of the glare as much or as little as you need to. And by all means, not last, well, it is last. And I think this would be, yep, this is the UV filter. And now UV filters, they're a bit contentious amongst photographers because they're just a clear bit of glass that sit in front of the lens. They kind of help apparently detract the light. Some don't like them because they can detract the quality of the image. Sometimes they're great for protecting the actual glass on the lens. But we'll give this one a go, see how it does. And let me know in the comments what you think, what your personal opinion is on UV filters in general. Now, of course, any gear review is probably best done out on location rather than the comfort of my own home. Now, if you stick around until the end of the video, what I'll be doing is I'll be taking the CPL filter, the polarizing filter, and the UV filter out on location, seeing how they do in the real world. As for the ND filter, well, I'll be doing a separate video which will be released on Monday. I'll be heading out to the coast, doing my favorite type of photography, doing some long exposures, putting the ND filter to the test. And if you're watching this after that particular video has been released, I'll put a link up on screen for you to watch at your convenience. Now, in terms of installation, how we get the magnetic filter on the front of the lens, because this is something we can do before we even leave home, so we're kind of nice and ready, nice and set up for those shots the moment we get out on location. So we're going to take our camera, and as you can see, I've got the lens cap already off. I'm going to take the magnetic adapter and I'm going to screw that to the front of this lens, just like so. Okay. So the magnetic filter is bigger than the lens, and you might be thinking, oh, he's made a mistake. Well, no, I haven't. Because you see this here, this is the most important piece of advice anyone can give you when you're out purchasing lens filters. You see, when you're purchasing a screw-on lens filter, whether it's just a normal screw-on filter or it's a magnetic filter, which comes with the screw-on connection, the way to know which thread, which filter size to get, will tell you on the front of your lens. And there'll be a little icon, which I'll put up on screen. And when you found that icon, there'll be a number next to it, and that is the thread size. And so I know that the thread size for this lens is 67 millimeters. It's just down there. You might not be able to read it. Now, what I also know is the fact that my 50 millimeter lens, that has a thread size of 49 millimeters. I also know that my original kit lens that came with my original camera, if I wanted to use these lens filters with that has a filter thread of 58 millimeters. You're seeing the problem already. I've got 3 lenses, all of which have 3 different thread sizes. So I would need to buy this kit 3 times to accommodate each of my lenses. No, you don't want to do that. Save yourself some money and go out and purchase these. These are called step-up rings. And what this step-up ring does is it takes the thread from 67 millimeters to 82 millimeters. So I can have one step-up ring that goes from 49 millimeters to 82 millimeters, and I can have one step-up ring that goes from 58 millimeters to 82 millimeters. Now, you're probably asking, why 82 millimeters? Well, 82 millimeters, I know for a fact, is the largest thread size that goes with Canon cameras. There's no Canon lens, sorry, that has a thread size bigger than 82 millimeters that I would ever need. Now, of course, you can get thread sizes bigger if Canon did make a lens that I needed that was bigger than 82mm, I would need to go out and I'd maybe need to purchase other step-up rings or step-down rings or another filter system. But in this case, I've got this one step-up ring, which I can now just screw to the front of the lens. And you see straight away, this is the frustration of just using screw-on filters when you're out on location, because you can't have them to fiddle around. The moment's happening way off in the distance. You're trying to screw on the front. Sometimes the thread doesn't want to align properly. You're messing around, and by the time you've got it screwed on, the moment's gone. Whereas with these, I can screw them on from the comfort of my own home before I go out on location. And as you'll see in a minute, I can just have everything set up, ready for whatever my needs are. But once we've got the step-up ring screwed on, we can then take the 82mm magnetic adapter, screw that on the front of the lens as well. And that is everything set up, ready for us to go out and shoot. And it's when we're out shooting now that we can decide, right, I want my UV filter on. I want to protect my lens glass. Let's put that on. And that's it. That's how quick it is to put it on, take it off, put it back on. It is that simple. Oh no, I don't want my UV filter on. I just want my polarizing filter on. Take that off, put that on. No, don't want my polarizing filter on. I've got a long exposure that I want to capture now, and the moment's disappearing really quickly. So I can take the ND 1000 filter, the 10-stop ND filter, put that on the front of the lens. And the beauty of the whole system is I can put the UV filter on, I can put the polarizing filter on, and I can put the 10-stop ND filter on. Each one in front of the other. So we've got our step-up ring, we've got our magnetic adapter, we've got our UV filter, we've got our CPL filter, and we've got our ND filter. And as you can see, that is not coming off. Kind of shake that quite hard to see. Never in the year that I've been using magnetic filters from KentFaith have I ever had to worry about them falling off the front of the adapter. Once it's on, it's on. And on that note, I'm going to get out on location, get these lens filters tested in a real world setting. But before I do so, I just want to say thank you to the sponsor of today's video, KentFaith. KentFaith, a first choice for photo and video products, and offer a wide range of camera accessories to suit the photographer's needs. Lens filters, camera bags, tripods, lens adapters, all at a reasonable cost. And if you're interested in buying this magnetic lens kit, I'll put a link down in the description below. And if you use the offer code NEIL when you're at the checkout, you'll get 10% off your first purchase. So as promised, I've come out to this nice little location on the edge of a beautiful lake. I've got a lovely tree over here on the right hand side, and I've already got my UV and my CPL magnetic filters attached to the camera. Now, of course, CPL filters, like I said, they help get rid of reflections, but they also add a little bit of contrast, a little bit of saturation to the image as well. If I put on the live view and now take off both the CPL and the UV filters, you can kind of see the type of scene that I'm working with. And let's just put on the UV filter. Can you see the difference? Is it ruining the scene by having it on? I don't think so really. I think it's kind of not doing too much different to the image. So let's try the CPL filter now. Are we losing any detail? Well, no, but if you look at the clouds in the background here, we're actually getting detail. So if I take it off, all we've got is white in the background now. Add the CPL filter back in and we're just getting that little bit more contrast with the clouds. So you see the difference that filter is making to this shot. So let's put both on the screen now. And like I say, now you can kind of just see what it's doing. What I will do is I'll put some images up on screen in just a second. I'll take some shots without the UV filter and without the CPL filter, and I'll take some shots with them both attached, and you can see what difference the two filters make when they're used and when they're not used. On to the negatives, because I won't just praise something if I feel there could be improvements. And the first of which is the filter kit doesn't come with a lens cap. This comes with the 8-stop ND filter that you can buy separately. And this is ideal because I can take off the filters and I can leave on the magnetic adapter, I can leave on the step-up ring and just use the magnetic lens cap when I'm not using any filters, so that when I do come to use any filters, I can just take the magnetic lens cap off. I don't have to set up the whole magnetic system ready to go each time I go out. It's already there, ready to be used. Just take the lens cap off, add on the filters. Now you can buy this separately on its own from KentFaith, so it's not the end of the world. Maybe it's not included because it's there to cut down on cost just a little bit, which would be understandable, but it would be a nice little addition. Second issue, and this really is a minor one, but the annoying thing about using any filter system is the fact that taking lens filters off, putting them in the bag, taking them out, putting them on the lens, you're eventually going to get fingerprints all over them. I think it would be great if KentFaith included maybe a KentFaith branded microfiber cloth with this kit, just handy for being able to clean it. But of course, you could get microfiber cloths off Amazon for a couple of quid, so it's not the end of the world if it doesn't come with one, really. Like I said, they were two pretty minor, pretty small issues that you can work without, really. And that is a wrap on another episode of the Photography Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to K&F for sending me this filter kit to try it out. Remember, if you're interested in purchasing this, I'll put a link down in the description below, and if you use the offer code NEIL when you're at the checkout, you'll get 10% off that first purchase. I'll see you back out on Monday as I head out to the coast to test out the ND filters with some lovely long exposure photography. But for now, you take care, and I'll see you on the next one. It's bye from me.